Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday night here in Atlanta, Georgia. The Hive is the site for tonight's Week 11 SFL action between the Chicago Wildcats and the Atlanta Swarm. I'm Andy Hamilton. Joining me in the booth tonight is Ryan Caudill. Ryan, quite the matchup for us this evening.
Yes, this is going to be a good one. Atlanta coming off of a big win against Las Vegas last week, and it's going to be up to Chicago to try to stop them. Chicago has this really great defense that they've been working with all season long that has kept them in the games, and Atlanta has a huge, powerful offense, all these different weapons on their side of the ball. BDG Hollywood, Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm, Bryant Dynasty, all these different guys that are combining to be one of the best offenses in the league. There's going to be a huge matchup there, and that's going to make this game super exciting.
Simulation Football League action as Atlanta welcomes the Wildcats wearing all white with the orange highlights to town. Atlanta is wearing their blue uniforms with the gold highlights, signifying their championship run last season, looking for the opportunity to defend said championship. And the playoffs are the only place to do that. And Ryan, they are looming just on the other side of next week.
Yeah, playoffs are coming up soon. This game has so many different playoff implications. If either team gets a win, it puts them over the other in the tiebreakers.
11 minutes on the clock. Football on the tee. Atlanta will receive Chicago to kick, and we are underway. Swarm will field this and bring it out across the 20-yard line. Kendra Hall out to the 21, and that is where Atlanta's offense will come out. Rookie quarterback Bryant Dynasty has been the focus all season, but Ryan, with current records, the focus tonight is on the best back in SFL history, BDG Hollywood, most rushing yards in SFL history, just gained that mark last week, and the most touchdowns from a running back in SFL history to boot. It doesn't get much better than BDG, and they feed him on the first play of the game for 4.
Yeah, you got to go to BDG Hollywood. He's had such a great career here in Atlanta, just making this team as powerful as they are. He leads that offense, and he really is that heartbeat that keeps them going and keeps them in every single game. And it really shows any given play, if he has the ball in his hands, he can make something magical happen.
8th season in the SFL, playing all of them right here in Atlanta, Georgia. The 5-5 Swarm on second down. Fire across the middle, and Bryant Dynasty has a first down to Siege Falco out to the 36.
Last week, Siege Falco actually didn't even get a catch on 3 targets, and they opened the second play of the game going to him, trying to get him more involved in the passing game today.
We will run through the Atlanta offense here momentarily. On the opening drive, they give left side, blown up in the backfield, not going to get through there. I believe that was Gerald Giudice who popped through to make the play, and it was.
Yeah, second season for Giudice. He's been a great part of that defensive line. They've been so good for that defense. Really that first line of defense that, hits the running back, hits them behind the line, slows them down, and even gets a stop there.
Nick LaSala and Mark Chisholm running the stats truck for us tonight. Appreciate those two gentlemen. Give up the middle, Hollywood. Knocked backwards. He will gain a couple, but he paid the price.
Yeah, he got hit hard there by the linebackers. He almost found a seam on that left side. He could have broken it away, but instead he's put on his back.
3rd and 8. They need to pass the 45, get it out to the 46 or further to move the chains and keep this drive moving. Here is the throw. Dynasty going to fire across the middle over the receiver's head. He was looking for the tight end, but could not find Wooding.
And a rare 3 and out here for Atlanta. They had such a high-powered offense last week against Las Vegas, and they just aren't able to find that mark there here on the 3rd and 8, and that's just going to force them to punt.
Chicago's defense gets a stop at 4 and 6. Ryan, a loss does not technically knock them out, but boy, it does make it much more difficult for the Wildcats to get into the playoffs. So some would say a must-win tonight for the orange and black. Fair catch called for and made at the 27-yard line. And that is where the Wildcats will bring out this offensive unit. E.T. King and Robert Johnson, the rookie running back. Mike Improta, the fullback. Davius Reed, Greg Soto, James Tobin, and Benjamin Warner will round out this offensive unit, along with Rob Ems, the kicker, for the Wildcats. Split backs to start this one off. Improta flank to the left. Robert Johnson on the right. King going to fire one across the middle. Caught for first down yardage. Greg Soto, his first grab of the night.
You know, and back to what you said about the playoffs, I do think this is a must-win for Chicago, especially with Atlanta being the opponent here. It vaults you to 5-6, puts Atlanta also at 5-6, and then you have the head-to-head tiebreaker over them, puts you in a much better position, especially when there are a lot of teams vying for that last spot.
Tall task to do so on the road. The Wildcats trying to stand up to it. Here is Robert Johnson, first carry of the night, and he will scoot forward for 7 before the veteran, Aquantis Shine, can drag him down.
Actually, a good run there from Johnson. He only averages about 4 yards per carry, so for his numbers, that is a really good run for him, and we'll see what Atlanta can do against the run tonight. Last week, they didn't allow very many yards.
They will give it right up the middle to Johnson again. Tried to bounce it and could not get outside. There to make the play was Cree Higgins, the outside linebacker, rookie for Atlanta.
Yeah, good stop by the linebacker, getting him at the feet right when he was trying to bounce it to the outside, and he's just not able to break away due to the defender being there.
3rd and 3. Chicago trying to move the chains. They have to get to midfield if they would like to do so. Atlanta trying to get off the field on defense. 3 in the backfield. Give him Prota up the middle, and he is stuffed. Not going to get there for sure. Atlanta read it well, and coming up to combine on the play was Blake Hamrack along with Higgins again.
Yeah, and the run offense for Chicago not able to get past the front 7 of Atlanta. Atlanta last week against Las Vegas, they held them to less than 10 total rushing yards the entire game. So it's going to be a hard task to try to get past them this week.
Chicago will send it away. Kendra Hall back to return out across the 20 and all the way up to the 24. And we see Atlanta's offense again. Bryant Dynasty, rookie quarterback, 2nd-round pick, trying to lead his team back into the playoffs. BDG Hollywood, the running back. We already talked about him. Mitchell O'Brien, the fullback, leading the way for Hollywood. Kendra Hall, Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm are the receiving threats, along with Jamal Wooding, the veteran tight end. Sammy Steele is the rookie kicker, their 3rd-round selection there. They will line up for 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 24, their 2nd drive of the night if you're just tuning in. Bryant Dynasty flips it outside on this near side, and Boo Chisholm is out to the 35 for a first down.
And when in doubt, go to Boo Chisholm. He is such a good receiver for them. 8 seasons here with Atlanta, and last week he had a huge week. 6 receptions, 100 yards, and a TD to boot. Really great game from him and a great season from him all season long. He has been such a good security blanket for Bryant Dynasty.
Twins bottom of the screen. Here's Dynasty. Going to flip it out to Hollywood off this left side. Hollywood tries a spin. Chicago was wiser to it and will make the tackle. And let's run through this Chicago defense. Moore Rivers and Gerald Giudice, along with Khalil Thomas and Danny Stinson, round out this defensive line. Clint Hendershot and Buddy Blaze are the linebackers. Ron Hoff, Kanye Rockefeller, and Jesse Vick are the cornerbacks. And Jack Hacksaw, along with Ryan Yosef, round out the safeties for this Chicago unit who got off the field the first time. And now Hollywood going to string this one right side, and they give him the first down.
Yeah, close, but he does get it. Looks like he crossed the line there, and Atlanta getting a first down through the hands of BDG Hollywood. He's such a reliant back for them. He's been so good for them. Last week he had a huge week as well. 20 carries, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns to his name. Big week, and he's looking for a bigger one here.
Flip out to Hollywood again. Left side with some room, and Chicago wraps him up. Kanye Rockefeller drags him down just over the midfield stripe. 2nd and 4, excuse me.
Yeah, Chicago is one of those teams with a really good defense that usually keeps them in the games, and so it is going to be a very tough match for them versus Atlanta because they have such a powerful offense. We'll see what they can do.
These two teams do have some history. We've seen some low-scoring ones before. Flip out here on the outside. Boo Chisholm, first down yardage to the 43.
Yeah, and going again to Boo Chisholm, and tried and true, his #1 on that offense. I mean, Boo Chisholm and Siege Falco, both of those guys combined for such a powerful receiving core. You also have Kendra Hall to help them out, and Jamal Wooding is kind of that red zone threat for them. Such a powerful passing offense.
Gun straight here. Dime look out of Chicago. Here is Dynasty to throw. Throws on the slant, and it's incomplete. Clint Hendershot supplied the hit. Might have got a hand to it, and it's second down.
Yeah, they were going for Kendra Hall up the middle, and it looked like it was Hendershot. Yeah, on the deflection there, gets his hand in there and breaks up the play. Good job by Hendershot to read that and see that they are going up the middle. He's kind of that spy there, sitting there in the middle. He sniffed out the play, able to get the deflection. Good job by Hendershot.
2nd and 10 at the Chicago 43-yard line. Twins bottom of the screen. Dynasty under center. BDG Hollywood will line up offset to the left with two tight ends on the top of the line. They will flip it out to Hollywood, and he is ran down. They've ran that play 3 to 4 times tonight, and Ron Hoff sniffs that one out for no gain.
Yeah, they run that play out to that left side, trying to go to, looked like Riley Freeman there instead of BDG Hollywood. And just Chicago, they've been seeing that so many times because Atlanta does usually go to that with Hollywood. They're able to find the stop.
Here is Dynasty. Gonna wobble one into the middle. Caught! And that is Kendra Hall. First down to the 24. Nice reception in traffic.
Yeah, they went back to that play that Hendershot got the deflection on, and Kendra Hall is able to call in the catch here as he throws it over Hendershot's head there. Just didn't see it coming, and they are able to get the first down there.
And that shows you right there why Bryant Dynasty was a second-round pick. 11th selection overall out of Lincoln, replacing Marcus Dunhill, riding off into the sunset to help the league on the league staff. Dunhill, a league MVP and championship MVP last season. Bryant Dynasty, big shoes to fill this season, and at 5-5, you would have to say, Ryan, that he has definitely done his part.
Oh, I think he has 100%. I mean, look at the stats that he has this season. 3,233 yards in the air. That's good for second in the league, I believe. He has just been an absolute monster for this team, and he really has filled the shoes of Dunhill.
2nd and 11, going to change the play at the line. The rookie going to throw an out route here to the bottom to Siege Falco. Catch made. Hoff tackles him out of bounds at the 18. It'll bring up 3rd and 4, an important one.
Yeah, an important 3rd and 4 for sure. You're in Chicago territory. You want to cap this drive off with a touchdown. You certainly don't want to come up short, only get the 3 points. And if you're Chicago, you're going to have to stop them here. I mean, if you hold Atlanta to just 3 points on a big drive like this, that's going to be huge for your defense.
3 backs in the backfield. Nickel look out of Chicago. They will give Hollywood. BDG Hollywood spins once and is out to the 10-yard line. First down to the right.
Yeah, and that was made possible by Mitchell O'Brien going out there, getting the block. He had another back with him, getting another block, and so the blocking opens up a hole for him. He just is able to walk right through the middle. Look at that key block there by O'Brien, getting that first down. You couldn't do it any easier if you're Hollywood.
Atlanta, the 9.5-point favorites here at home. Over under tonight set by Jack's data at 38.5. Still scoreless here late in the first quarter of tonight's contest. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers split out. Dynasty will give it right up the middle, and Hollywood will pick up 3 yards. The other game going on the other side is Tulsa and the Lone Star Glory, but we want to thank you for joining us here for Chicago and Atlanta live on YouTube. Andy Hamilton and Ryan Caudill here. 1:53 to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 7. Nickel look here out of Chicago. Dynasty under center. Falco, the furthest receiver on the bottom of your screen. Chisholm in the slot. He will throw for Falco, and it is no signal yet. No signal yet. Yes, caught. Touchdown, Siege Falco. Took the referees a minute to identify, but Falco makes the grab for 6.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of traffic there in the end zone. I wasn't sure myself if Falco was actually able to hold it and keep the possession, but a good job by him getting his hands on it. and he does make the catch there. You see he has possession while the back goes down. Good job by Atlanta driving down the field against a very tough Chicago defense. They're able to, use their dynamic game. They have the run game, they have the passing game. They're able to find the end zone there.
13 play, 74-yard drive is capped off with a 7-yard reception by Siege Falco from the rookie, and the extra point is blocked. Hold the phone. That is not a gimme anymore. Sammy Steele blocked, and it is 6-0 Atlanta, not 7.
Yeah, and the Chicago defense and the special teams unit coming up just to try to keep this game even closer. Just a rare miss from Steele, and he's just not able to get through a defender. I mean, it's very tough to do.
Atlanta will now kick it away to Chicago. Dynasty tonight, 9 of 11 for 1 touchdown. And now the return from the Wildcats off this left-hand side will bring Davius Reed and the offense out at the 25-yard line. They have given a couple runs to Robert Johnson, 1 catch by Greg Soto for 12 yards, and that was pretty much all she wrote on the first drive. Let's run through the Atlanta defense after this play. But for this one, 1st and 10, they will line up with 2 backs in the backfield and a tight end flex out to that right-hand side. Here is the give right up the middle. Robert Johnson picks up 8. Atlanta's defense reads as follows. Chris Porter and Billy Ray Valentine, the defensive ends. Leo Jefferson and Joshua Williams are the defensive tackles. Cole Finnegan and Cree Higgins are the linebackers, along with the old man, Aquantis Shine, the veteran. Connor Darien and Blake Hamrack and Jay Miraculous are the cornerbacks. Moose Papineau and the strong safety Chris Henry round out this defensive unit for the Swarm. Lots of defensive players. Here's the give up the middle to Johnson, and he has the first down yardage out to the 38. Ryan, I don't know if Robert Johnson is related to Scott Johnson. I think we cleared this up last time I called a Chicago game. I don't think he is, but similar that they both play running back.
Yeah, both running backs, but I feel like Johnson's somewhat of a common name. I feel like I hear it a couple times, so maybe it's just an unrelated coincidence.
Plenty of families in the SFL. That's what makes it so wonderful. Flip here on the outside to E.T. King. Caught for 9.5 yards. James Tobin out there, his first grab of the day.
Yeah, it looked like he got over the marker, but the referees are going to mark him short. He must have stepped out of bounds before he's able to get there, but a good job able to, get that ball there by E.T. King, get it into that tight window, and he's still able to get the catch, get out of bounds. Now you have a 2nd and inches. This is a playmaker's dream. This is really where you can afford to take a shot and expect to make it on the 3rd down if you don't get it.
Give up the middle. Johnson has the first down yardage and is tackled from behind at the 49-yard line. Siege Falco concerned about his kicker, Sammy Steele's perfect season. Extra points usually do not count in regular season, counting for missed field goals. So I would believe that Sammy Steele's perfect season would still be intact. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter. Just 6 points, the difference here between Atlanta and Chicago through 1. It's the Simulation Football League on YouTube. We'll be right back. Split backs here to start the second quarter for the Wildcats. E.T. King, short drop, going to flip it out to Johnson here on the near side. Johnson plows through 1 and is out to the 42.
Yeah, and it's very, I would say bold of Chicago. They're going for this, rushing attack. They're going to Robert Johnson. They're, really pounding the ball into Atlanta against a defense that is one of the top in the league against the rush, but they're still managing to do it effectively. They're still managing to get the ball up the field, and it's going to be something to watch as this game progresses.
Here is King, going to throw on 2nd and 3, takes a corner shot, tipped up and incomplete. Blake Hamrack says no thank you.
Yeah, and if he just gets a little bit more on that, Tobin is off to the house, but a good job by Hamrack to get up there, make the deflection, nearly getting an interception for Atlanta as that ball just harmlessly falls to the ground there, but nearly an interception, nearly a takeaway for Atlanta.
And that will bring up a 3rd and 3 at Atlanta's 42. Chicago not yet in field goal range. They will try to get out of it here, or get into it here, I should say. They need to move the ball inside the 39-yard line to pick up the first down. Here is King, going to throw on a crossing route, and that is the tight end Benjamin Warner with the grab out to the 37.
Yeah, and I love how on 2nd and 3, they go for that deep ball. They try to make a big play happen. It doesn't happen, unfortunately, but they're still able to get that first down on the 3rd and 3. They just go for the quick, short route. They're able to find the completion, get the first down, and now you have a fresh set of downs, and you can really do anything here.
Fresh set of downs here at the 37. Give up the middle to Johnson on an ISO, and that is going nowhere. The two linebackers, Higgins and Finnegan, combined to bring him down at the 37.
Yeah, it looked like they kind of blitzed there, just plugging up both the gaps up the middle, and it just left Johnson with no room to run. Good job by Atlanta defense to read that run coming.
3 receivers wide. King going to throw on 2nd and 10. Finds an open receiver. Davius Reed on a little stop pattern. Picks up 9.
Yeah, and that's a reception for all 4 of the starting receivers for Chicago. E.T. King not afraid to spread this ball around, and he's not going to just one receiver for his team. That makes it so much more unpredictable. In Atlanta, they can't figure out who's going to be getting the ball on a drive that's going to be opening up that offense in a huge way.
3rd and a yard. Need 3 feet to pick up the first down. Give Johnson. Johnson trying to spin it around. No, didn't get there. Coming up the middle to make the play was Higgins again. Cree Higgins is having a night so far.
Yeah, and Robert Johnson just tried to spin out of it, but Higgins had his left arm in his grasp. He wasn't going to let it go, and now Chicago, I would love to see them go for it here. It's only a yard. You got to be aggressive against Atlanta, and they're preparing for it.
Offense out on the field. 2 wide receivers top of the line. Hamrick guarding the furthest one out, Soto. 2 tight ends on the bottom of the screen. 4-3 look out of Atlanta. Play clock now down under 5. And E.T. King will take a timeout. They tried to draw the swarm off sides and could not get it done.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do not go for it. I would have liked the play call there to try to take a risk and be aggressive and see if you can catch Atlanta off guard. They certainly would not be expecting a go for it on 4th down there, but unfortunately fortunately for Atlanta, they do not go for it. And it looks like they're going to bring on the field goal unit. I think this would be about a 43, 44-yard field goal.
J.D. Miller is the holder. Rob Ems, the kicker, on to try and boot this one through. Came over from the Las Vegas Fury in the offseason. Was a big acquisition for Chicago. Kick up and on the way, and they cut the lead in half with a 44-yard field goal from Ems.
Yeah, and that extra point block that they got last time actually comes into factor here. If Chicago can drive down, they get another field goal, they're going to tie up this game instead of, Atlanta having that 1-point lead. So that extra point is going to be huge for Chicago and the points in this game.
8:12 to go here in the second quarter. Andy Hamilton is me, along with Ryan Caudill here in the booth. Nicholas Sala and Mark Chisholm running the stats for us. We appreciate those gentlemen, as well as Cameron Irvine running the show behind the truck. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the first controllerless esport where strategy and AI, instead of your thumbs, determine the outcome. Teams submit game plans prior to the game, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players, scouts, coaches, and owners along the field to create an all-new type of virtual reality. You can visit simulationfl.net for more information, simulationfl.net for more information. Bryant Dynasty fires underneath, in and out of the hands of Siege Falco. Man, Ryan, you don't see him drop many.
Yeah, and I don't even think that was a drop. I think that was Kanye Rockefeller and Buddy Blaze coming in there, breaking that play up, and the huge hit laid on him. It was Rockefeller there, just hitting him hard as soon as the ball gets into his hands, and that is almost impossible to hold on to when you get hit that hard, and Siege Falco just not able to keep his hands on the ball. Good breakup by Rockefeller.
That'll bring up second down from the 21-yard line of Atlanta. They had their lead just cut to 3 with a field goal from Chicago, and now they take over on offense. 2 receivers. Top of the screen for Dynasty. 4-2 look out of the Wildcats. Bryant Dynasty fires on this near side to BDG Hollywood with space, and he's out to the 35 before stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, and you just can't leave open space for Hollywood, because if you do, he's just going to turn on the jets and speed right past you, and that's exactly what they did. Chicago, no one covering that flat there at the bottom of the field, so that's just open field for Hollywood to just run through. He's able to charge forward. That burst of speed gets him the first down. Good play by Hollywood.
First and 10 with 8 minutes to go here in the second. 2 backs in the backfield. Nickel look out of Chicago. Been a long day. Here's the give right side to Hollywood. Hollywood with room. Hollywood with a block, and he will get tackled at the 47. That had the makings to be a big run.
It did, and he had Mitchell O'Brien out in front of him, getting the blocks, making that run possible. And we just see why Hollywood is such an explosive back in this league and why he has continually been able to find success. He just breaks it to the outside, gets into the open field, and then the burst of speed once he's in that field puts him above and beyond all these other running backs in the league, and that is why he is the #1 running back in the Simulation Football League.
#1 all-time in terms of yards and touchdowns from the running back position. They flip it out to him again, spins through one, and he also holds the record, Ryan, as one of the only players in the Simulation Football League that has made me crack my voice.
And he probably holds the record for most broken ankles as well. You see that spin move that he did there, got Buddy Blaze, and he's sitting there silly.
He is quite the player, and I have a feeling that he will be in the Hall of Fame soon. First down carry right up the middle. He just knifes through that first tackle and moves the chains, and 34 is good for a first.
Yeah, it looked like there wasn't going to be anything there as well. You have Chicago, their front 7. They were trying to plug every single hole, but Hollywood just kind of spins to his side and forces his way there forward for the first down.
3 backs in the backfield, 4 down linemen. Here's the give. Hollywood stretching on the right side with blockers and gets dragged down. Pickup of 2, but he really ran 4 or 5 or 8 yards there, Ryan.
Yeah, he definitely ran much more than he probably wanted to there, but Chicago playing a really good up and down defense, covering all sides of the field and not giving Hollywood any room where he can cut back.
We'll line up in the same formation. Chicago countering this with a nickel defense. Here is the give right side. Hollywood stretches it out. Hollywood spun around, still's on his feet, maintains his footing, and picks up a couple more yards and steps out of bounds at the 36.
Yeah, any other running back in the league gets hit like that, they fall down, that's a loss. But if it's BDG Hollywood, he is able to maintain the balance, stay up on his feet, and keep his hips forward. He's able to still manage to put what should have been a loss into a gain of 4.
Man, some of these days you just see BDG Hollywood run and dance around this field, and you would imagine he took ballet with some of the moves he pulls out of his hat. They'll flip it to him again. He spins back inside and is not going to pick up that first down. That'll bring up 4th down. They tried to feed Hollywood. The timing was off, and Chicago gets a stop at the 35.
Yeah, huge stop for Chicago, able to actually stop Hollywood there. He got the ball 3 times in a row, and he's such a hard back to bring down. But on that 3rd down play, he didn't quite have the blocking out in front of him, and Chicago's just able to swarm him and force the punt.
Swarm him. I see what you did there. Punt is away. No! It's blocked! And Chicago has blocked a punt and an extra point. It's one of those nights for the Wildcats, and they'll take over at the 46.
And nothing is a given when you're playing against Chicago. They're able to come in on the special teams unit, a unit you don't usually see make an impact. But for Chicago, they're making a huge impact, blocking that punt, giving them some amazing field position for this offensive drive.
What a turn of events for the Wildcats. Now an offsides will give him a free play. King dances in the pocket, floats underneath, caught for a 9-yard pickup. They'll probably decline that penalty. Catch made there by Jimmy Sanders.
And you can tell Atlanta is shaking a little bit in their boots. They are a little nervous. They jump off sides there, giving them a free 5 yards, but instead Chicago gets the 8 or 9 on that play. And, you know, they're sweating a little bit. Chicago's getting a little bit of the momentum. They got that field goal last drive. They were able to get the stop on defense, and they're starting to drive forward a little bit more inch by inch. We'll see what they can do on this drive.
Wildcats moving the ball. They will decline the penalty and take the 8 yards, give up the middle. Johnson, driven back by the veteran. Aquantis Shine was wise to that play. He has played in quite a few Chicago versus Atlanta games in his lifetime.
Oh, I'm sure he has, and he is very wise to those runs like that. They just run it up the middle, and Johnson just pounds it right into Shine's chest, but Shine just took it like it was a kid punching him in the chest, and he drives him back 4 yards.
3rd and a yard. They will give it to Johnson up the middle, and he has plenty of room through a defender, and he'll get out to the 28.
Yeah, that time Shine couldn't stop him there. He's able to pound through the entire line there. The Chicago offensive line opening up a hole through the middle. You can see there he gets a block from 63 and just able to take it upfield, get that first down for Chicago.
Improda there making a play in the backfield to get the block down as well. Two good fullbacks in this game. Mitchell O'Brien and Mike Improda leading the way for better backs behind them. Here is the give. Improda leads out front, and Johnson picks up 3 to the 25.
Quantas Shine making the stop there. He's going to be the focal point of the defense, and he's going to be the one to watch for Atlanta's defense. He's the one that's going to be trying to make all the plays, stopping the run. He's been so instrumental in their powerful rushing defense that Atlanta has. So the matchup of Johnson to Shine is going to be very interesting to watch.
3:20 to go here in the third. E.T. King fires. Wide open receiver coming on a little bit of an arrow route across the middle is good for the catch to the 13. Greg Soto, I think that's his second grab of the night.
Yeah, last week he had 8 receptions, not able to break 100. He got 99 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a big part of that offense last week. Even though they lost, he had a big game, and he's looking for a bigger one today.
3 in the backfield. They will give right up the middle Improda. Mikey Improda has some room there and will pick up 4. Nice carry.
Yeah, Mikey Improda with a bit of the legs there. Usually he's not one to carry the ball out and actually get the carries, but instead he's able to get the ball in his hands, bring it forward 4 yards.
Yeah, not the most running fullback in the SFL, but he catches him off guard there and is able to pick up and keep this offense on track. Give Robert Johnson. Johnson will pick up a couple. That'll bring up 3rd and a yard from the Atlanta 4.
Yeah, Chicago keeps going to this rushing attack. I mean, E.T. King only has 8 attempts to run the ball to Johnson's 11 attempts to rush the ball. So they're relying a little bit more on this rushing attack, and it's working for them.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3 points the difference between Atlanta and Chicago here. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Chicago knocking on the door. Shotgun look here for E.T. King. 2 receivers wide, looking to throw. Slings for the back corner, and it's picked off! Picked off by the Swarm! Atlanta says, not today, Johnny! They take it away, and it's made by Jay Miraculous.
What a catch by Miraculous. He reads it all the way, getting that catch in the back of the end zone, and what a devastating mistake by E.T. King and the Wildcats. They get the block punt. They get the field position. They're driving up the field, and instead they go for a pass at the goal line. Results in an interception when their running game was working so good for them, and that is a huge break for Atlanta.
Gun straight look here for Bryant Dynasty, who will take over with Atlanta at the 20-yard line with a bend but don't break defense. Dynasty pumps once, fires a wobbler underneath. It is collected there underneath. The catch made for the Swarm by Casey Morgan.
Yeah, and now it's going to be up to the Chicago defense. They've been holding Atlanta decently well this game, and they're going to have to try to hold them here and limit the interception, limit the mistake by Chicago.
Single back in the backfield, 3 receivers, bottom of the screen. Give right up the middle to Hollywood. Gerald Giudice was on the scene right away and drags him down.
Yeah, it looked like he got him just by one arm making that tackle there. What a huge play by Giudice to actually trip up Hollywood, take him down. He's such a hard back to bring down, but Giudice, the big 285, 6'5" lineman, is able to do it.
Big play by a big man brings up 3rd and 3 at the 27. Atlanta taking some time off the clock. Will throw. Flip out here to Boo Chisholm. Has the first down yardage to the Atlanta 34. They move the chains.
Yeah, all they needed was a real quick play, and that's exactly what they go for there. They go to the man himself, the security blanket, Boo Chisholm. 8 seasons with Atlanta, and he is just shining here tonight.
Dynasty so far 14 of 17 for 105 yards and a score. Giudice on the scene again, taking down Hollywood in the backfield, a drop for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Giudice has that big 3-4 in his mind, and he is just in hot pursuit of BDG Hollywood, and he's able to get another TFL there, bringing Hollywood down in the backfield before he can even try to break the tackle.
Atlanta not pushing the issue here at the end of the half. They'll go 3 wide for the last play of the second quarter. Here is Bryant Dynasty. We'll check down to Hollywood. Tackle is made, and that will take us to the halftime break. Ryan, if you were expecting the over of 38.5, you might have taken the wrong bet. So far, 9 points through 2 quarters.
Yeah, and I think if anyone was expecting the over, I feel like they would be wrong in this, especially in a Wildcats game. The Wildcats defense is always one that shows up, and they're always able to limit these powerful offenses. I mean, you see the numbers for Atlanta: 111 yards through the air, only 39 on the ground, and the time of possession, 12 minutes for them with the ball in their hands. And it's still such a close game that Chicago defense just shows up huge for them every single time and keeps all of these games close, and it gives E.T. King and that offense a chance to come back from any given game that they are in. If they can just find that big play, they can just find the hole in the offense, find the end zone, then that usually puts them, in a good spot for the game, and that is what is the key to Chicago's game plans. For Atlanta, they haven't quite been able to get it going. They've been having some good plays. They've been having some plays from BDG Hollywood, Bryant Dynasty. He's finding his receivers. They're finding the first downs that they need, but not quite able to find pay dirt too much. The 1 touchdown in the block extra point for them, and that's pretty much it for them, but they've still got the offensive attack going.
Aerial attack for both teams, the primary tonight, although Robert Johnson leads Chicago in rushing, 11 carries, 40 yards. Hollywood, 13 carries, 41 yards, just edging out Johnson by 3 feet. Dynasty, 15 of 18 through the first half for 105 yards. E.T. King, 7 of 9 for 61 yards. Both quarterbacks up over 75%. The 1 interception from E.T. King made by Jay Miraculous, really the difference, Ryan, in the score, because had Chicago scored on that drive, anything would have been at least a tie, at best for the Wildcats, a lead. So the Jay Miraculous play is really the only thing that is keeping Atlanta in front at this point in the contest.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't quite think about that. Jay Miraculous really did make a play there on the defense that limited any damage that the block punt could have done to Atlanta's team. Chicago, they should be, at least in a tie game here, but instead, because of the interception, they are down the 3 points, but they do get the ball back. They do get another chance to drive against Atlanta.
11 to go here in the third. Chicago starts with the ball at their own 22. 3 to the bottom of the screen. Here is King in the throw. Catch made on the bottom of the screen and out to the 29-yard line.
We'll see what Chicago decide to do here coming out of halftime, if they make an adjustment or they stick to the plan. They ran the ball quite a bit, but they still relied on the pass attack. They did a little bit of both, and on that first play, they go for the pass. Now you have a 2nd and 3. We can see if they go for a big play here.
Single back offset to the right is Johnson. 2 receivers split out. Soto on the bottom of the line, and now a free play. Wildcats going to throw outside, tipped up and incomplete. Miraculous, a diving deflection. Unfortunately, it's still a first down for Chicago as the offsides will give them a free 5.
Yeah, offsides, big mistake for Atlanta, and Miraculous, he just makes a really good play there. Defensively, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league, making that deflection. He really went all out for that one, and he's been having a really good game here today.
Billy Ray Valentine, the offender, just the 1 tackle today for Valentine. Neither team has a sack so far through these first 2 quarters. Now into the third. We'll see if that plays a factor down the line. 2 receivers, top of the screen. And here is King going to throw again. We'll flip it out there to the tight end, and that'll be good for 4.
Yeah, 3 plays in a row, 3 passes for E.T. King. It's interesting to see Chicago might have changed it up a little bit. They went there, looked like to 85 there. It was Jimmy Sanders, the tight end, getting the reception.
2 in the backfield, and Proto will stand right in front of Johnson. 4-3 look out of Atlanta. King under center will give to Johnson. Full head of steam right up the middle, and that is where he meets a Qantas Shine. He'll pick up a yard.
Qantas Shine's been so good for Atlanta against the rush. He is one of those guys that has made this defense so solid against any rushing attack that comes their way. Robert Johnson has been having a decent game. 41 yards on the ground, but Qantas Shine has still been making those big tackles when he needs to.
3 receivers wide here at the 39-yard line. King under center to throw. He's going to take a 7-step drop, move in the pocket, and just gets it away before being tackled in the backfield. Ray Valentine got there, and it'll be a drive ender as they're going to have to punt.
And you said earlier there haven't been any sacks in the game, and Billy Ray Valentine was trying to change that story just by himself, and he gets the pressure on E.T. King. E.T. King is forced to throw it, and it actually looked like it hit off of a lineman there at the line, and so it's just an incompletion and a stalled drive for the Wildcats.
Punter is on. That is Travis Warren who sends it away. Kendra Hall back to return. Will bring it out to the 24. Get your player position locked and loaded today through our Discord server in the SFL Minor League SFLM. There's more opportunities than ever to be the player you've always wanted to be. Join the Discord community through simulationfl.net. That's www.simulationfl.net. The second season of the SFL Minor League begins Friday, October 9th, which is right around the corner, Ryan. Contact Andrew Rastelli, our SFL Deputy Commissioner, on Discord for more information. Give to Hollywood. He will pick up 6, and the SFL Minor League is the only way to begin your Hall of Fame career, and we imagine that Dynasty is on his way to a Hall of Fame career, but you can't get started if you don't join the Minor League.
Yeah, lots of players in this game coming out of the Minor League. Brian Dynasty was a big one. We got Billy Ray Valentine as another huge big-time player that came from the minor leagues. He was so good there, and he's been able to translate it here to the majors.
Give to Hollywood. Tackled. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. The Chicago defense trying to hold it down for their offense and get the ball back.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job all game of limiting Atlanta's offense and limiting the damage that they can do. They get the stop on the run there, and this drive only 2 plays. If they falter here, it'll be a 3 and out.
3rd and 4, bunch to the bottom of the screen. Here's Dynasty to throw. Dynasty going to float one deep down the field. It's caught! Kendra Hall behind the defense out to the 38 with a huge grab.
Yeah, I think they caught Chicago sleeping a little bit there. They must have expected the run coming, but instead, Brian Dynasty, he's able to step up in the pocket, the confidence to throw that deep ball to Kendra Hall. Kendra Hall makes a perfect catch. That ball was right in the breadbasket, doesn't drop it. It was beautiful play by Atlanta. They take the deep shot, and it pays off for them.
Rookie to flip the field, and Atlanta is cooking with fire down here at Chicago's 38. Dynasty pumps once, fires underneath, caught, first down, yardage again, out to the 25.
Yeah, this offense, it's one of those things where you get the one big play and it seems like the top comes off and we see these big plays just start coming and coming. And that is an example of it.
First down again here at the 25-yard line. 3 in the backfield. They will flip it out to Hollywood on the bottom side here. He will go through one tackle, get through the second, and be driven back after an 8-yard pickup. Buddy Blaze on the tackle.
And it looked like Ryan Yosef was the first one to get to BDG Hollywood. It would have been an amazing play coming off the block and still able to get the hit onto Hollywood, slow him down, and allow that Chicago defense to swarm him there and limit the damage that Hollywood does.
Twins bottom of the screen. Hollywood in the backfield. 4 down linemen for the Chicago Wildcats. They are going to throw the screen out of this formation. Here's Hollywood off this left side. Face mask penalty will move them up. The offender there for the Chicago Wildcats was Jack Hacksaw. Haven't called his name too much tonight, but that penalty is not when you want to hear your name called out.
Yeah, just a rough penalty here, and they already got the first down, and now that adds even more damage to the play. Atlanta is going to be so much closer here, nearing the goal line. It gives them just an extra 5 yards, makes that so much easier for them, especially when you have a back like Hollywood who, can just get those yards very seamlessly for him.
First and goal, knocking on the door at the Wildcats' 5-yard line. It was right here that E.T. King threw an interception on their last time down here. This one a give to Hollywood right up the middle. He'll pick up a yard. Atlanta trying to avoid that fate and get into the end zone.
Yeah, and they go with the rush, which is the smart move when you're here at the goal line. They go for the rush. They try to put BDG Hollywood in the end zone like he has done so many times in his career. We'll see if they do it again.
They've run the screen out of this play out of this formation, 5 or 6 times. It would go to the top of the field. Let's see how Chicago decides to defend. They will throw back in the end zone. Catch made. Touchdown, Atlanta. A late flag will come in, but for Siege Falco, that is 6 more.
Yeah, and I don't even know how he was able to catch it. That ball was threaded through a needle. We'll see what they call the flag.
Late hit on Chicago does not, the Swarm will accept that since it goes on the extra point. It is still 6 for Atlanta.
Yeah, Siege Falco just made an amazing grab there in the back of the end zone, and what a good job by Brian Dynasty to throw it there. It looked like there were quite a few Wildcat defenders in the area trying to get their hands on the ball, but Brian Dynasty threads the needle, puts it through their hands, and puts it into Siege Falcos.
Rookie hooks up with Siege Falco for 6 more points, and that will push Atlanta's lead to 12. Extra point unit back out and on. Here is the extra point. This one from Sammy Steele is good after the earlier block.
Yeah, and Atlanta putting a little bit of pressure on the Chicago offense. That defense just not quite able to hold them. And now this is up to Chicago. They need to come in here. They need to put a drive together like they've been able to do today. But this time they need to be able to cap it off with the points. They need that touchdown, that fabled 7 points for them.
13-3 the score, 10 points the difference between Chicago and Atlanta with 5 minutes to go here in the third. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and replica jerseys are out now. Get your name on the back of your team's or your fan favorite team's jersey and visit team stores and libraries for purchase options through sector6apparel.com or through our website, simulationfl.net. Just hit the shop button. Ryan, I've seen plenty of Atlanta jerseys from players and fans of this championship Atlanta Swarm team all over their Twitter page. Great follow if you're looking for an SFL team to get involved with.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the more popular teams in the SFL, and for good reason. They've been so dominant these past few seasons, obviously coming off of a huge championship win for that franchise, and they're looking for many more this year and coming years.
Speaking of getting involved, Ray Scott in the chat says he wants to be a part of this. You can, sir. Head over to simulationfl.net and join our Discord server. King under pressure, and down he goes. Billy Ray Valentine drags him down at the 20. No, excuse me, Joshua Williams.
Yeah, Valentine got the pressure on the last drive, but Williams actually able to finish the job here. First sack of the game for Atlanta going over to Williams, and that was huge for them. This defense steps up and gets some negative yardage against Chicago. We'll see how they can respond.
His yellow sleeves threw me off. King on 3rd and 14 dials up the deep ball, throws, and it is incomplete. He could not quite get it to the receiver. Chris Henry makes the play, and Atlanta 3 and out on Chicago.
And what a huge sack by Joshua Williams. That was so big for this offense, for the defense, and limiting the Chicago offense. It stops them, makes them have to throw a deep ball on 3rd and 14, and Chris Henry is able to make the play in the secondary. Good all-around effort by the Atlanta offense or defense on that drive.
Travis Warren on to punt this one away. 10 points, just the difference, but it feels like a mountain. Here is the kick from Warren. Kendra Hall will field this at her own 41. Oh, going the wrong way, and she will lose 2 yards on the return.
Yeah, but a good effort there. I always commend people, even if they do run backwards, they're still trying to, find that hole no matter what they can do, even if it doesn't work every time.
Well, Devin Hester, one of the best return men of all time, used to go back and forwards, whatever it took to find the end zone. So I'm with you, Ryan. I'm not going to knock anyone for going the wrong way in an effort to try and get further the right way. 3 in the backfield here for Atlanta. Give left side Hollywood. Hollywood stringing this one out. He has the 50, and that is where he'll be tackled.
Yeah, and looked like Jack Hacksaw made the tackle there, made a touchdown-saving tackle. I mean, BDG Hollywood, if he's able to break that, he could have broken out to the outside into the end zone. Look, he has that lane in front of him up the left sideline, but instead he stopped, brought down, but not before he gets the first down.
New set of downs here at midfield, 3.5 to go. Ryan Caudill joining me in the booth, and I am your play-by-play commentator, Andy Hamilton. We want to welcome you into Week 11 SFL action. These two teams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Dynasty going to fire deep. Caught! Siege Falco again! Touchdown Atlanta! Just like that, they strike.
And 2 touchdowns on the day there for Siege Falco. He's having such an amazing game already for Atlanta. He's such a huge threat. And how about Bryant Dynasty stepping up, getting that big throw, and Falco's just wide open up the middle, and it's nothing but daylight in front of him. Big touchdown for Atlanta.
50Z deep post, and Siege Falco finds himself outrunning the coverage of Jesse Vick. No safety help over the top, and that was all she wrote. The Atlanta Swarm pulling ahead in this one.
The offense just putting the pressure on Chicago. They come out with the touchdown on the last drive, and this time they do it even quicker, getting yet another touchdown. And they did it in only 2 plays. What a huge drive for Atlanta.
Kick on the way is up and good, and it is now 20-3. And Atlanta again strikes, and Ryan, they have just turned this thing into a mockery after the half. 14-0, the run that the Swarm have put on the Wildcats here since the start of the third.
Yeah, they definitely made an adjustment at halftime, and it is paying dividends hugely for them. I'm not sure what that change is, but they certainly are going for the pass game, and they're not afraid to air it out.
Return out here to the 25 will set us up with 3:03 in the third quarter. Chicago has all the weapons to go deep down the field, so nothing is done just yet, folks. Don't write the check before you have the money in your account. 3 receivers wide here for King under center. Johnson, the lone back in the backfield against a nickel look. King gonna fire underneath. That catch is complete. 8 yards on the pickup to the 33.
Yeah, and Chicago, they're going to have to open up this offense even more. Atlanta does have a tough defense to go up against, but E.T. King needs to step up for Chicago. He needs to find these big plays that Atlanta has been doing, and he needs to find the end zone on this drive.
4 down linemen, a defensive back getting real low against a tight end, and Johnson demolished in the backfield. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Cole Finnegan just flies through completely unblocked and gets to Robert Johnson, hits him so hard in the backfield and brings him down for a loss of 2.
3rd and 4 at the Chicago 31. King, 4-step drop, pressure coming, loads the cannon, fires deep, and it's caught! Oh! Greg Soto! Magic Man jumps in front of the defender who fell down, and the Wildcats strike!
And what an amazing throw. E.T. King puts his arm into it and just slings it. What an absolute beauty. Tobin getting the catch, and Chris Henry falls down, not able to make the tackle. Chicago Wildcats, they answer back in a huge way.
I want you all to pause and rewind the broadcast. I'm pretty sure E.T. King threw that off his front leg as his back one was being taken out from under him. And then, I don't know if Chris Henry slipped on a banana peel or what, but it counts for the Wildcats. A spectacular play on 3rd down, and now they will cut the lead with this field goal up and good to 10.
Yeah, Tobin pulled the banana peel, the old banana peel in the back pocket trick, put it under Henry's foot. Just an amazing play. One of the best throws I've ever seen coming out of E.T. King. That was just an absolute beauty, and what a way for Chicago to answer that big Siege Falco touchdown.
Wow, unbelievable season with 2:03 to go here in the 3rd. The Wildcats not done just yet. We told you they had the weapons, and James Tobin, one of them, able to score just his 2nd grab of the night.
Yeah, that touchdown going for 69 yards.
Nice.
And it looked like 60 of those came through the air. What a beautiful play for Chicago.
Yeah, E.T. King, I don't know if you practice that, falling backwards and throwing it 60 yards in the air, but if not, I mean, it's got to be, what do you think that is, Ryan? Some dumbbell presses or bench press? I don't know how. I don't have those type of muscles. Here's Dynasty going to flip it out to Hollywood on the ensuing drive. Hollywood makes one miss and picks up 7, and it's almost just pedestrian when Hollywood makes one-man miss, Ryan. I mean, that Hollywood and one-man miss are the 2 closest cousins I've ever seen.
That's just expected. You have a BDG Hollywood, the first man there. He might as well just walk away. He knows he's not going to be making that tackle on Hollywood.
Yeah. 2nd and 3. Give Hollywood left side. Makes the first man miss. Here to the 39 before he's brought down and comes out of the pile with a raised fist as they move the chains.
Yeah, moving the chains is another specialty of Hollywood. And like you said, making the first man miss, breaking it to the outside, getting the huge gain for Atlanta. And it doesn't even look like very much from him. He makes it look so easy, but that still is a 10-yard gain that he gets just so effortlessly. He's such a big part of this offense.
4-2 look out of the Chicago Wildcats, finding themselves down by 10, trying to get the ball back for their offense. Oh! Didn't make the first man miss there. Coming off the line to wallop him out of the backfield. What a play for Chicago by Moore Rivers.
Yeah, Moore Rivers looks like he drove the tackle that he was on back about 4 yards, comes off the block, and makes BDG Hollywood just pay for living. Oh my goodness, what an amazing tackle.
And that is why he was a number 1 overall pick for St. Louis all those seasons ago. Pressure coming. Judah Sessi, a sack on Dynasty. Rookie on rookie crime.
Rookie on rookie crime, and Judah Sessi is the culprit. What an amazing 2 plays in a row by this defensive line. Rivers get the huge stop on Hollywood, and Judah Sessi getting a sack. First sack of the day for Chicago. Big play for that defense.
Now 5 wide here on 3rd and a country mile. Can barely see the first down marker on the right side of your screen. Shotgun snap here to Dynasty. Dynasty pressure coming, has to avoid, moves in the pocket and won't get away. Chicago, a third sack in a row. Danny Stinson. This defensive line has made 3 plays in a row in the backfield.
Yeah, the rookie Stinson coming from Madison, picked in the 5th round, making a huge sack.
That's all she wrote for 3. Get your 4s out in the YouTube chat. We're going to the 4th quarter. It's Atlanta by 10 over Chicago. Punter is on for the Atlanta Swarm. Chicago has blocked one of these. They look like they're going to set up for the return. I'm Andy Hamilton. Joining me in the booth is Ryan Caudill. Return here will come out to the 39. You can catch the SFL live every July through October and January through April over the weekends and Monday nights on 11 Sports for the fans, our YouTube and Twitch channels. Follow at Simulationfl on Twitter to always get the most up-to-date broadcast times and matchups so you don't ever miss a moment of the action. That's at Simulationfl on Twitter and Instagram. 1st and 10 for Chicago. After a defensive stand, they take over. Deep ball is incomplete. Could not find Soto down to the 39.
Yeah, on the deflection there, it looked like he was almost able to make the catch even after the tip, but it still just falls harmlessly to the turf. Looks like 25 there for Atlanta. Blake Hamrick making a deflection, and good defensive play by Atlanta.
Hamrick with the inside leverage almost ran that route for Soto. Soto has been quiet tonight. Just the 2 catches for 24 yards. Hamrick on the outside covering him well. They'll line him up in the slot this time. Tobin on the outside. E.T. King under center with Johnson, the far back, with Improda right in front of him. Here is the throw. They'll flip it out to Robert Johnson, and he will pick up 2 before being walloped.
Yeah, and Chicago coming out here after getting the stop on defense, and they haven't gotten it going yet. We'll see what they do here on the 3rd and 8. This is one that you got to convert. Your team is, got to take advantage of any and all offensive opportunities that they get here in the 4th quarter. They're down 10. They need to find a way to score.
98.2 QBR for E.T. King. 3rd and 8 going to throw. Fires across the middle and just over the outstretched arms there of James Tobin. Couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, a little bit too hot to handle. E.T. King putting too much muscle on that ball. And unfortunately, receiver just can't quite get to it even after the dive. Unfortunate play for Chicago. They're not able to convert after they get the huge defensive stop, and they're just going to have to punt.
2 defensive stands will bring on the punter again. Travis Warren to kick this one away. Atlanta comes after it. They almost got there. Did not end up getting it. And Kendra Hall will try a return out to the 21-yard line. 10 minutes to go. Ryan, Chicago still in this thing.
Oh, yeah, and we saw on the last drive what their defense is capable of. They got some huge stops there, huge sacks coming out of the defensive line. If that line can still, keep getting to the quarterback, keep putting that pressure on Dynasty, make him throw the ball quicker than he might like, that can force some incompletions, and this defense really can step up, and this is the time to do it.
3 backs in the backfield, 4-2 look, give to Hollywood. Hollywood with blocks. Oh, wow, that was quite the play coming off of his block. Clint Hendershot. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was just absolutely beautiful. That is something you don't see very often, but Hendershot is one of the best in the business. He comes off of the block there, able to stop Hollywood of all people. Just really a work of beauty.
Yeah, to tackle one of the best backs in the league after coming off of a block is something. And Hollywood made him look silly on the play right after it. He picks up a couple more.
Yeah, you love to see the back and forth from Hollywood to Hendershot. Hendershot gets a stop, and Hollywood gets a juke. It's back and forth, and that's what makes football so entertaining.
3rd and 5 at Atlanta's 26. They need to get out to the 32 in order to move the chains. Dynasty has Hollywood behind him and will give to him off this right side with blockers. Hendershot runs him down and combines there with Ryan Yosef to make the tackle, and Atlanta will have to punt again.
Chicago's defense yet again coming in, getting the stop, forcing a 3-and-out from Atlanta, and that time it was all Hendershot. He really got involved every single play. He was involved there near the ball, near trying to make the tackle, and he's able to force that 3-and-out for Atlanta. Chicago's going to get the ball back. E.T. King getting another chance.
They will kick it away. Chicago did not get a block on that one. Here is the return by Davius Reed. Breaks through one and gets out to the 42. These Wildcats just hanging around, Ryan.
Yeah, not a bad return either. They nearly are able to block. If they could get that blocked punt, they sent 3. They nearly got their hands on it, but they weren't quite able to do it. But still a good return. They still got some good field position. E.T. King is going to have to not be afraid to sling it. Don't be afraid of the mistakes. Look for the big offensive plays.
Single back, sidecar left is Johnson. Here is King. Pressure coming. Floats it out to Johnson. Catch made and was able to get the feet in bounds and get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's just one of those plays where you hope that maybe he can get a couple yards. He's still able to keep his feet in bounds, but not quite able to turn the hips and get upfield, unfortunately, for Chicago. And, you know, on these plays, especially against Atlanta, a defense that is not going to be giving you a lot of room, you need to try to get some more gains, and you need to make more out of what you're given.
3 in the backfield. Here's the give right up the middle. Johnson redirects off this left-hand side and is able to pick up 3. Almost followed the tight end right through the hole that ended up on the right side.
Yeah, it looked like Finnegan hit him at the line, and then Johnson kept going forward to the right with Finnegan just on his back trying to bring him down. That's a hard run.
4 receivers wide here on 3rd and 7. Quick throw, catch made by Davius Reed, well short of the sticks. Interesting play call.
Yeah, interesting to say the least. I feel like you need to give your receivers a little bit more time to get off the line. They went for the quick throw, but I feel like that's one of those times where you need to go for a little bit of a deeper mid throw. And here on a 4th and 2 at midfield with, you know, a 2-score game, I feel like this is one you should go for, but Chicago coaches are going to disagree.
10 points, interesting. Could really go either way with it. Kendra Hall stands and will try and return and not get very far, out to only her 15-yard line, and that is where Dynasty will bring this offense back out. Chicago's defense called upon again to make a stop. It's still a 2-score game.
Yeah, defense, you're going to have to march right back out there yet again, try to get another stop. This time Atlanta does have a little bit worse field position, so if Chicago can get a stop, that'll be even better for their offense, giving them some better field position. We'll see what they can do.
Dynasty 21 of 24. He gives to Hollywood, and Hollywood just forward for 2.
Yeah, he got hit by that front 7 of Chicago that has been so strong all game long. They have not really been faltering. Hollywood has had 75 yards on the ground, but that's on 23 attempts, only 3.3 yards per carry. So they've really been doing a good job of stopping him when it matters most. And this is the time for them to step up and get another stop.
3 receivers wide, Dynasty under center, Hollywood the lone back. They give to him again on a trap play. Hollywood through a couple will pick up a yard or 2, and it will set up a 3rd and 6, Buddy Blaze another tackle.
Yeah, these linebackers for Chicago are just stepping up in such huge ways across the board. Buddy Blaze and Clint Hendershot have just been all over the place. They've been right on Hollywood and stopping him.
Blaze 13 tackles, Hendershot up to 8. 5 wide here on 3rd and 6. Dynasty going to throw for it. Pressure coming. Has to unload on the corner route deep down the field. Tipped up and incomplete. It was Boo Chisholm working on Kanye Rockefeller. 2 veterans, one-on-one on the outside, and Chicago gets the win on that play.
Yeah, good play by Rockefeller, forcing the incompletion, and Chicago's defense, yet again, they're able to come out on the field, you know, after the 3-and-out by Chicago, after they forced the 3-and-out for Atlanta, and they're still able to come out here, still get yet another 3-and-out, limit the damage that Atlanta can do, and force another punt.
Davius Reed on to return. Chicago trying to play the field position game. Atlanta trying to flip it here with 6 minutes to go. Reed calls for the fair catch at the 45, right at the 6-minute mark, and E.T. King comes back out 15 of 20 tonight, 75% completion percentage. Had that big bomb to James Tobin for 69 yards, and the one interception down on this end, the way that they're headed, by Jay Miraculous.
Yeah, this is going to be the time for him to step up. They need to score on this drive.
4 receivers wide and a bunch to the left. Gun look for King. Gonna throw. Pressure coming. Floats underneath. Caught on a crossing route. Turning upfield. Down the right side with a burst of speed is Tobin. Down to the 35 like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, coming out of a cannon. That's only his 3rd reception of the game, would you believe it? But he's still able to get the catch there, and he's not willing to give up this game and, making an impact, making that big play earlier, making another big play here with the burst of speed, that extra effort that he puts in at the end. A great run and catch by Tobin.
5.5 minutes to play, and Chicago down to Atlanta's 35. Probably need 4 or 5 more yards before you feel comfortable trying to kick a field goal. 3 in the backfield, and Improta stands right in front of Robert Johnson. Give right up the middle to Improta, and there is a flag on the play.
I didn't see what the flag was. We'll have to see what R62 has to say about it. But interesting call by Chicago giving the ball to Improta.
Higgins made the tackle, and this will be a clipping penalty, and it is going to go against the Wildcats.
Oh, and just a killer penalty. You have this drive that, started off well with the Tobin reception. You got some really good field position, but then you get the clipping call, you get the penalty. Now you're going to be set back huge here. 1st and 21. You're starting back right where the drive began, it seemed like.
Greg Soto called for the clip. Now 2 receivers, top of the screen. Shotgun look for E.T. King on 1st and 21. King going to take a shot down the field and in and out of the hands of Soto. Incomplete. He looked like he had Tobin on the other side. If he would have thrown the corner route, he chose the post.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Tobin was going towards that outside. He ran a slant up the middle, and 81 Soto had come down the middle. Tobin was going to the outside. Soto drew all the defenders to him to that middle part of the field, and Tobin was wide open. Looked like a bit of a missed decision.
5 receivers wide for King here for 2nd and 21 now. Pick up half of it and be in good shape. King, pressure coming, rolls out of the pocket, throws off his back foot across the middle of the field and did not have the arm strength to get it there.
Yeah, that is such a hard play, especially throwing on the run on its own is such a hard thing to do. And then when you have to throw on the run across your body, that's just one of the hardest throws that you can make. And now you have a 3rd and 21. E.T. King's going to have to unload the cannon and make a big play here and keep Chicago in this game.
Gun look, bunch receivers. Davius Reed, the receiver on the bottom of the screen. Here is King, pressure coming, unloads to Reed underneath. Reed makes the catch and gets out to the 38-yard line. It'll be 4th and 14, and they are going to have to punt.
And that is just frustrating for Chicago. I would be interested to see if they actually bring on Ems here for the kick. It's going to be like about a 54-yarder. We'll see if Ems can do it. This is going to be a big one.
This would be absolutely unreal if Rob Ems had the leg strength to put this one through. Gets it away. Ems sends it, and no, it is short.
Oh, but I like the call for Chicago. They have to do something. They have to attempt to get the points, and unfortunately, just on the previous play, just not enough yards. Looked like that field goal just fell, just like a yard or 2 short. That is so unfortunate for Chicago. Ems did not quite have the leg.
Atlanta takes over at their own 45 with really good field position. A score here with 4 minutes to go would put this out of range. A couple good Hollywood runs and first downs would also put this out of range with the clock. 3 in the backfield. O'Brien leads the way. Hollywood off this left side, and he picks up 7.
Yeah, just one more run for Hollywood. If he can, get that open space, get the first down for Atlanta, they're just going to have to keep running this ball more and more, just run down the clock and not give Chicago another chance to get back into it. Because we've seen what they're able to do with Tobin. Whenever they find that connection, they can make the big play happen. They can score quickly. So Atlanta, they have to run the ball here. They just have to keep feeding BDG Hollywood and let the man do his work.
2nd and 3 from the Chicago 48, already into Wildcats territory with 3:30 here to go in the 4th. Give Hollywood right side with blocks. Hollywood off the edge will pick up a first down and get across the 40 to the 39-yard line, 91 yards tonight.
Yeah, big game for Hollywood tonight. He's been, all over the place, running really well, even against a tough Chicago defense that is not willing to give an inch to him, but he's still able to get out to the outside on that play, get the first down, and keep the clock moving. Now you have 3 more plays for Atlanta. They're just going to keep the clock ticking and just try to finish this game out and not let Chicago get a chance. Chicago has 3 timeouts, but they're not electing to use them yet.
1st and 10 from the 39, same formation. O'Brien in front of Hollywood, trying to take all the time they can off this clock. Give Hollywood stretching out right. No. Bottled up there and dragged backwards by Ryan Yosef.
Yeah, Yosef and about a million other Chicago Wildcats getting to Hollywood and stopping him. Yosef coming in on the blitz. He was the first man there, holding him up. Good play by Yosef in bringing down such a hard guy to tackle.
2nd and 12. Outside of field goal range, they would need probably about 10 yards to feel confident with a field goal attempt, but time, really the bigger threat here to Chicago's comeback attempt. They need to keep as much time on the clock as possible. Atlanta will have to snap this on the positive side of the 2-minute warning. Hollywood, the lone back. Here is Dynasty going to flip it out to Hollywood in open space, and Hollywood dragged down by Buddy Blaze, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. A 3rd and 9 upcoming for Atlanta. When we come back, the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Two minutes to go here in Atlanta, Georgia. Andy Hamilton and Ryan Caudill with you. And Atlanta trying to move the chains and get in field goal range. Dynasty, pressure coming. Hit as he threw. Unloads, caught. Boo Chisholm, near sideline, down to the 6. And that just might be the dagger.
That could just be it. What a huge play for Atlanta. You'd expect them to run the ball, but no. They go for the deep shot. They go for Chisholm, and he nearly is able to get into the end zone. That was a huge play, and that'll probably finish this game up for Atlanta. Chicago, they still have their 3 timeouts, but it's gonna be a tough battle if they want to try to win this game.
They gotta hold Atlanta out of the end zone. It is a 10-point game. A field goal would make it 13, which is still 2 scores. A touchdown would make it a 3-score game. Hollywood, goodbye! Touchdown, BDG! Touchdown, Atlanta! And the Swarm extend the lead and put the Wildcats to bed.
Yeah, that is going to be the dagger that puts this game pretty much out of reach for Chicago. They would need 3 scores, and getting the ball 3 times is nearly impossible. Hollywood, with just such a powerful run there, just walks it right into the end zone. Big play for Atlanta, and great job by them to keep this offense going and limiting Chicago all game long. They're up against such a tough Chicago defense, but they're still able to find the deep threats, find the deep balls, and Hollywood's still able to punch it in.
16-point lead. Kicker Sammy Steele on and makes it 17. The 3-score game now intact in Atlanta. Ryan, looks like they're going to move to 6-5.
Yeah, and we could talk about the playoff implications for this game. I mean, Atlanta, they're going to put themselves at 6-5. That puts them above a lot of other teams, which are stuck at 5-5 right now. You have other teams at 4-6, like Chicago, and this makes that playoff fight for Chicago so much harder. You don't have the tiebreaker over Atlanta, who's going to be one of those other playoff teams that's fighting for that last spot, and it puts you in a really tough situation.
Reed brings it out to the 21-yard line, and with 1:48, I imagine we will see every ounce of muscle that E.T. King has in his right arm.
Yeah, he's going to have to unload like he did to Tobin on that huge 69-yard play that they had earlier. He's going to have to put his arm into it and try to make something happen, even when it looks as dire as it does now.
4 receivers wide, King in the shotgun, 4 down linemen for Atlanta. Here is the quick throw, catch made by, no, dropped by Warner, in and out of his hands.
Yeah, you can tell just the lost feeling that he has there, dropping what should be an easy catch for someone, especially someone like Warner. I mean, he is a rookie, so we'll give him a little bit of slack.
Tight end across the middle. I mean, hey, I'm not giving him any slack, Ryan. Don't speak for me. Hey, you're down by 3 scores. You got to catch everything that comes your way. It becomes very tough to throw you the ball if you can't make the catch.
Yeah, that is true, Andy. That's why you're the coach and I'm just the player.
Hey, no plays off. 4 wide again for King. Atlanta playing some bump and run. Pressure coming. King unloads in the corner. Route caught. See you later. Greg Soto, touchdown Wildcats off the left side. Call your mom. Tell her we're not done here in Atlanta. Chicago strikes again.
We got a game on our hands. Chicago not willing to give up at any moment, and yet another huge play for this offense that finds the end zone. This time it's the other receiver, the other 80 receiver, Greg Soto, just gets the ball, beats his man, and it's just off to the house of Qantas Shine. Just not quick enough. You can't stop the Soto man. He gets to the end zone. Big play for Chicago.
I told you, Ryan, no plays off. Blake Hamrick might have taken a play off there, was underneath, and the deep ball to Soto is good for 6. Very little time came off the clock. Chicago holds on to all 3 timeouts, and with a snap of a fingers, Ryan, we're back to 10 points being the difference as Rob M's kick is up and good, and I assume we'll have an onside kick ensuing.
Yeah, you got to go for the onside kick here for Chicago. If they can recover this, that would be so huge for them. Their team is so explosive on offense. Sometimes Soto with that big play, they can do it again. They just need to get this kick.
Kick on the way, and Atlanta fields it. Chicago will now have to use their timeouts as Atlanta's sitting at the 37. They really can't give up more than a yard or 2.
Yeah, they are in field goal range. However, it is a field goal will still keep it at a 2-score game. Just makes that field goal that they have to get into a touchdown. So they do have to make the play here. They're going to have to come up with yet another stop, but we've seen them able to stop the Atlanta offense before, and they should be able to do it again.
3 backs in the backfield. Here's the give to Hollywood. Right side, lost yards. Woo-hoo-hoo! These Wildcats aren't just done yet.
Yeah, they're going to claw back inch by inch, try to keep them in this game. Ron Hoff going into the backfield and hitting Hollywood so hard, knocks him down. The TFL for Hoff, and Chicago getting a stop on first down. We'll see what they can do on second down. This game is not over yet.
2 receivers wide, single back is Hollywood. Shift on the line for Chicago. They are going to throw it out to BDG on this near side. BDG spins and is brought down. He got himself to the 32. That is field goal range. So that play for Chicago is a real threat. Another timeout taken.
Yeah, you got to hope that your defensive line can maybe get a sack, get a tackle behind the line, and make this field goal not as much of a gimme. But when Atlanta has a kicker like Sammy Steele, who this man does not miss. He's 17 for 17 on the season. He's been such a big kicker for them, and he has a great leg. And so hoping for a miss is not exactly guaranteed.
4 down linemen, single back in the backfield is Hollywood again. From the 32, they will throw. They are going to throw out to Boo Chisholm, who moves the chains, and that, Ryan, might just do it.
Yeah, Chicago, they put in such a good effort. The defense really tried their hardest to stop Atlanta. They nearly did it, and they had some really great plays on defense today. Even without any turnovers from Atlanta, they were still able to keep fighting, keep this game close, but Atlanta just emerging as the better team.
That interception down in the red zone in the opening half really proves deadly for Chicago. They don't really get back on the horse here until the closing moments of the fourth, and with a minute to go, this might be. I mean, Chicago's going to drop to 4-7. Ryan, they aren't technically out of the playoff conversation, but they are going to be in some trouble. As we look at the playoff standings, this was the standings coming into the day. As you can tell, the top 11 here, Atlanta will move to 6-5, which will help their playoff conversation. But Chicago at 4-7, will be below 13th place. Lone Star Glory winning their game. They also moved to 6-5, will move up from the spot they were just in. So lots of movement, lots more games to happen here this weekend, Ryan. But for Atlanta, a big win, and for Chicago, a devastating loss.
Yeah, big loss for Chicago. It really puts the fate out of their hands. They're going to need a lot of things to go their way if they want to get back into it. Atlanta moving to 6-5 at the end of this week, that could put them, near the top of the standings in the playoffs. So a big win for them today.
Mexico City winning earlier as well, and Atlanta takes a timeout with 3 seconds left. I'm interested to see. I've never seen this before, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, you have the win. You do. I don't think you need to call the timeout, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna, I believe, bring on Sammy Steele. Let the man do his thing. Let him pad the stats a little bit. Make it 18 of 18. He's going for some records here.
That's interesting. If they are gonna do that, no, they're not. They took Ryan. They took a timeout so that they could take another kneel down here. I've never seen that before in my entire life. I've never seen that. Interesting. Well, Atlanta will get the win. And the interesting point here, Ryan, that Commissioner Cameron Irvine passes along, that if Vancouver and Houston are to win, if Vancouver wins this week, all teams with at least seven losses would be eliminated. Vancouver plays tomorrow. And so for Chicago, they will be watching that game with bated breath, rooting for the Carolina Skyhawks. That game in Vancouver at Canada Field. But here in Atlanta, Georgia tonight, the Swarm get the better of the Chicago Wildcats.
Yeah, Chicago fans got to be rooting for Carolina, and Atlanta fans are going to be very happy with this win tonight. That puts them, closer and closer into the playoffs. This is something that was a big win for them. This was a much needed win. Next week they're going to play Queen City, so they're going to need to get a win there, and that could pretty much put them in playoffs as a lock. And Atlanta came out in this game. Such a big factor was that offense. Bryant Dynasty really was able to lead the way along with VDG Hollywood. They both had some amazing games today. 265 yards for Dynasty and 3 touchdowns, a QBR of 139.2. Amazing game from him. Hollywood 94 yards and a touchdown. Big game for him. Everyone across the board, and also not to mention Siege Falco, 5 receptions, 76 yards, 3 touchdowns on the game. Huge game for Atlanta. Their offense really came through, took it to such a hard Wildcat defense. I mean, you have that front seven is so good against the run. The secondary is amazing in Chicago, but Atlanta getting the better of them, and Atlanta defense also stepping up in a huge way.
Player of the game for the Atlanta Swarm is the rookie Bryant Dynasty, the flying Hawaiian. 25 of 29 tonight, 272 yards and a QBR of 140.2. Well, for everyone here at the SFL, that is all she wrote. For Ryan Caudill, I'm Andy Hamilton. Thanks to Nick LaSala and Mark Chisholm for running stats, and producer and Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Week 11 continues tomorrow. Don't miss it as the SFL continues towards the playoffs. Have a great evening.